So when I was about, I'd say 9, 10, probably 10 years old, I started to really get introduced to something, and not just anime, but just animation in general, and that is the idea of shipping. I didn't even know what shipping meant until I think I was around like 16 at the time, so like 6 years later I found out what shipping even was. I think it might have been later than that. And there's something about anime shipping that I just wanted to kind of get off my chest and get your opinions on, as somebody that just straight up prefers not even just anime shipping, but animated shipping than live action. And I kind of just wonder why that is. It's an entire subject to dive into in its own video about why I love just animations so much over live action stuff most of the time. Let me know in the comments if you'd like that video, because I'd love to talk about that with you too. But what is it about anime shipping that just genuinely draws me into shows sometimes? Just really quick, Tony from Westside Otaku here. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing. I like to gush about anime with you sometimes. And this is one of those things, man. What is the stakes, first off, of avoiding this live action shipping? Because honestly, this whole thing started ever since I was watching Kids Next Door. Kids Next Door, numbers 3 and 4, Cookie and Wally. That was probably the first ship ever that I got into that led to this rabbit trail of honestly shipping. This is the confession here. Being the reason I actually start watching certain shows that might not even have to do with the ship itself. It's just part of the show. And that is something I just find so curious. Why is it that if I see some epic fight or something, that doesn't draw me in? Or if I see some epic plot or twist or something, that doesn't draw me in. If I get that stuff spoiled for me. However, if I go down a rabbit trail on YouTube of why Star from Star vs. Forces of Evil and Marco Diaz have these moments that's like, will they, won't they get together? That whole thing started with codenamed Kids Next Door, Cookie and Wally. And you might be asking, where's the anime? I'm here for anime. Well, I personally think animation all around for some reason. If I see animation shipping, there's something about that just draws me in. And that's what I'm curious about the takes on here. But this whole thing continued onwards with anime shipping. Probably my all-time favorite of all time being Ichigo and Rukia. Ichigo and Rukia have some of the best damn chemistry I have seen on screen that, you know, didn't always mean it was romantic, but just something about that idea. I want these two people to get together. That's what Rukia and Ichigo really started for me. You know, Cookie and Wally, they had, you know, obvious shipping. Like the show was obviously teasing at it. But Rukia and Ichigo, it was more like, did I say Rukio? Rukia and Ichigo had this, you know, relationship that we didn't know if it was just straight up a really strong bond or if it was romantic, but that was the beginning, man. That idea of, I love the idea of these two coming together, whether it's obviously teased or you just feel like they would be a great couple. You know what I mean? And that interest, for some reason, just pulls me into shows. And a lot of the times I get excited when I find out that's not the point of the show. Yeah, Kimi ni Todoke. If you have not watched Kimi ni Todoke, probably the cutest romance I have ever seen. I'm not saying the best, I'm saying the cutest. It is going to put you through the damn ringer. I could make an entire video about that, but Kimi ni Todoke puts you through the damn ringer, not because of the will they, won't they, that say like Nisekoi does, giving you blue balls all the time. But Kimi ni Todoke is it's just these two people that you genuinely feel, and you know how much better their lives will be if they can just be that other person in each other's lives. And you go through 2 seasons of this bullshit. Are they gonna get together or not, you know? And just do it already. Sorry, I got very passionate there, but that's what I mean. Like, that's the kind of stuff that, I'm not saying that's the reason I watch a show. I don't watch Attack on Titan for the shipping. I don't think it's one of the best shows of all time, period, because of the shipping. Yeah, there might be a couple of people to root for in it, but that's not the reason the show draws me in, because there's so much other stuff introduced. But say shows like Fairy Tail. I would have never given that show a shot if it wasn't for all the Natsu Lucy stuff I was seeing. I kept seeing so much Natsu Lucy stuff from that show that honestly, I gave the show a crack. I did. I gave it like a couple episode watch before I saw all this shipping about it. And I was like, this just isn't for me. And then I watched all the shipping stuff. And then I was like, does it happen? Like, I don't know why that happens, but the stakes to this, what happens when we get so invested with these anime ships that we ourselves don't bother to do anything about our own life ships, you know? Not to make this a deep video, but I was just thinking about that. I'm like, what about these anime or animation ships that draws me in so much that I want to consume even fan-made stuff? Judy and Nick from frickin' Zootopia is the prime example of that. I consume so much fanfic, doujin stuff for Judy and Nick. No, not that kind. We don't do that here. What if it's because just animation stuff is so much more easier for me to buy than the live action stuff? You know, I've had my stuff in Friends, that 70s show, How I Met Your Mother. Oh my God, How I Met Your Mother. Frickin' Ted and Robin, man, that was a roller coaster. But there's something about these animation ones that just draws me into the show before I've watched it. And maybe that's because I just buy the fictionalness that is animation. I buy that more than seeing actual people get together, and you know, I don't root for that as much as, say, this animation, because I'm more submerged into it. And it becomes all the more of an escape, whereas if I see live action people, maybe I compare that too much to real life, because as I'm, you know, posting this video, currently single, maybe that's why. Maybe just animation ships kind of gives me that escape to that reality. And I'm wondering, maybe that's the same for you. And again, not to make this a deep video, but maybe that's the case. And it's just interesting to me why these anime and animation ships, they do that to me. And, you know, they got balls. It's an escape. We embrace it. But, you know, when you see somebody confess to someone and maybe it not work out, and then you see the gomenasai, the sorries, it hurts, but at least that person had the guts. And then sometimes these relationships, it even flushes out the comedy, like Sure Dure Children. That is still one of the funniest just shows I've ever watched, period, and it has all to do with the shipping. That's what the point of the show is about, these dumb high school ships. A lot of them are actually genuinely cute. I give these people props, even if they're fictional characters. They go out and meet people. They go out, put themselves on the line. They get out of their comfort zone to potentially be with that person. They do all these things that is inspiring. And maybe that is the lesson to take away here. Maybe me, or if you're similar to me, get drawn into these relationships because you want to see them work out, because they have what you don't, so you want to see it pay off. And this fictional medium is the way that you buy that all the more, instead of seeing the live action folks where you compare yourself to them more. Maybe this is a calling card though for us. Maybe this anime shipping, the reason we get so attached to it is because it is a reason to go out there and meet more people. It is something to inspire us to get out of our comfort zone, to change. And in order to find that person that isn't perfect, but is the person that could genuinely make us happy, that we didn't know could become that, that whole storyline is what we find in these ships, and we wish we could have. And maybe, just maybe, we use these stories to inspire us to do the same. Or maybe we could say weeb degenerate like me and just keep watching these for fun. Ah!